and welcome to another episode of Sorta My Podcast. My name is Vin the Human, Vincent Herman. Sitting to my right,
Alva Spectre, James Odle.
Bob cannot be here again for cell phone reasons this time. He needed a cell phone.
We're just going to call it technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. But this time around, we had our fair little cringe fest listening to the last episode, so we're not going to do that call-in shit ever again. So you don't have to worry about that. Let's jump right into it, guys. We've got a variety of comics, a variety of trailers, a new segment called Phonebooth News, and we've got Logan coming up in the show. We're going to talk about Logan, so spoiler alert right now, if you want to skip that later in the show.
We may or may not remember to say, okay, we're talking about Logan, spoilers ahead. So if you hear us mention Logan, you should probably just fast forward.
Yeah, we might just get right into it. Hopefully we get into that kind of flow. Guys, before we jump into comics real quick, I want to remind you to go over to our Facebook page, Sorta My Comics. Give us a like there. The Sorta My Brand page where we post all of our podcast videos, anything that we're doing over on Sorta My Brand on Facebook.
It's also where you can catch the Commoner's Commentary.
Yes. You can like Sorta My Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. I guess we're on iTunes, right? I forgot to ask you about
iTunes.
that.
We're on pretty much anywhere that you can find podcasts.
Does anything we upload to SoundCloud automatically upload to iTunes?
Yeah.
Because I know I didn't upload it.
All you have to do is search Sorta My Podcast, and we pop right up.
Okay, great. Yeah, you can like us there. And guys, remember, every time you comment, every time you like it, every time you do anything to show us a little love, or hell, even if you show us a little hate, it helps out the show a little bit. Whether it's your opinions helping us to grow or us raising in the rankings. I mean, the more and more this gets shared around, we may actually be able to pick up sponsors eventually.
Yeah.
So
share us.
Yeah.
Like us.
So share it, like it, comment, do whatever you want to do.
If you hate us, send it to someone you don't like.
Send me a personal message, and totally won't use that to backtrack your information. So,
he doesn't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do that, so you are actually safe there. Okay, guys, I've got a few comics to talk about. Odle's got a few comics to talk about. Odle, do you want to start us off?
Yeah. Mine aren't really all that recent. I finished catching up on the first volume, the first 5 issues of Renato Jones. Written, created, owned, everything by Kari Andrews. He did a Iron Fist Living Weapon. Really good. One guy taking out all the 1%ers. Gruesome, bloody. If that's your kind of thing, non-superhero type comic, go check it out. It's out there, but it's really good. The new issue of Invincible came out a week or two ago.
I thought... Is that about to end? Or I thought it
ends at the end of this year.
Okay.
This final arc is the end of all things, is what it's called. And it's a 12-part arc that ends this series. This is a comic that started and has built an entire world in the Image universe.
So now is the time to get involved. If you want to get caught up, it's this is it ends on issue 144. So right now we're at the tail end of it. It's such a good comic. If you like superheroes, read this fucking comic. It is the self-proclaimed greatest superhero comic in the universe for a reason. Yeah, but so is Amazing Spider-Man, and I'd buy that too.
Yeah, but Invincible, it's great. I can't say anything this far in. If you're wanting to get started, just read it. And then I read something a little dated, not too dated, about, I'd say, a decade or two ago. Early 2000s era. It's right after Civil War. It's the Amazing Spider-Man Back in Black.
I thought you were about to talk about Iron Fist, but no, I forgot. Yeah, you were bringing that up.
No, Amazing Spider-Man Back in Black. It's I'm sure you know some of the stories that happen. This is where Aunt May gets shot.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't know that was from the Back in Black.
Yeah.
Series.
Yeah, but after like Spider-Man revealing himself as Peter Parker, someone hires a sniper to take him out.
Everything he was afraid would happen.
Yeah, spider senses go off. He dodges the bullet, pulls Mary Jane out of the way. The bullet hits Aunt May. He loses his shit. I feel
like you should have said spoilers, but like you said, it has been out for over. Like it's been out a while.
He goes. Another spoiler. The black suit wasn't just the symbiote; it was a black suit. He goes and he gets it from underneath like the gargoyle on the bell tower and wears it to send his message. And like he puts that on because the message he's sending is, I'm not fucking around. I'm not holding back anymore. He beats the living hell out of people. He threatens people. He finds out, sorry, but I'm going to ruin a little bit of this for you. He finds out that it was Kingpin that hired a sniper. Kingpin hired a sniper from in jail to do this.
Shit.
He goes into the jail and beats the living fuck out of Kingpin in front of the entire, jail's, convicts, in front of all the prisoners, beats the living hell out of them, and says that if Aunt May dies, I will be here. I will fill your lungs with webbing, and it will take 3 seconds for you to die.
Jesus. Oh my god, that sounds like...
Dude, I got chills reading that issue.
Almost wish it had happened. Just for the imagery.
And that leads into a lot of people's lesser favorite of the Spider-Man stuff is the One More Day.
Yeah.
Because it says to be continued in one more day. So that must be the art that comes right after Back in Black. But Jesus.
Oh my god. Now I'm a little soured on it because I know what it leads into his mindset of I'm willing to give up my wife and oh my god. Because I remember I read One More Day. I fucking hate it.
See, I haven't read One More Day.
It's so bad.
But after reading Back in Black...
He chooses an old woman over... I don't remember if Mary Jane was pregnant or not. But I know that he gave up a future. You know?
Yeah.
He gave up a future with the woman he loves. And I don't know if they've been back together since. Or they were back together briefly. And it ended badly.
I don't know. I know in the current run of Spider-Man, there's so much tension between the two of them.
Yeah, no. I mean, that stems from where they had gotten back together.
Yeah. Without taking into account that One More Day comes after this, it's so worth reading.
Cool. Well, I did did want to mention a few newer things, but I also read something, not nearly as old as that, but something a little prevalent to our later discussion of Logan. I decided to read Death of Wolverine finally, which, I mean, it's not like I was lost in what happens in it, because it's kind of in the title, but it's still, I wanted to know. I've seen
you want to know how and why.
I've seen this image, that image from it, and it was a really cool book. It wasn't as action-packed as I expected it to be. It's a little more introspective, which I feel is necessary, because starting off from this book, and I'm sure there's a story that you find out why he lost his healing factor, but he doesn't have his healing factor in this book. And
no, he doesn't have it, or it's
he doesn't have it
at all.
Yeah, at all. It's gone. Yeah. So that had just recently happened to him. He's been to Tony Stark. He's been to Bruce Banner. He's been to Reed Richards. And Reed Richards is the only one who tells him, I can do this. I can fix this. But you need to lay low. You need to don't get yourself killed, don't do what you do best, more or less. And he's more or less that's not going to happen, especially because there's a hit out on me. And yes, there's a huge fucking, huge hit out on him, and everyone's coming for it. So, he's getting messed up left and right. At one point, he can't really even use his claws because, like, he's not going to heal from it. He might get an infection or something. And he does once or twice, of course. I mean, it's a Wolverine book. He's going to use his claws. But there's a point where he has made gauntlets out of rebar that he has sharpened. Like 3 pieces of rebar for each fist. And he sharpened them at the ends. And he made makeshift claws. And I was like, that is so fucking awesome.
So he basically did what anyone who has pretended to be Wolverine has done.
Yeah.
And just made like a makeshift claw glove.
Yeah, he made some makeshift. Oh, it's way cooler than any makeshift.
Well,
whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a really cool book. Some great villains in here. Viper's in the book. There's why can I never remember? I should have written his name down, and he's the doctor who made Wolverine who he is too.
Stryker?
Not Stryker, no. Fucking Doctor asshole. That's it. Anyways, it's not important stuff. It's not important enough to waste time on right now. You can Google it. I'll remember it in like 3 hours. I'll be like, fuck.
That was his name.
That was his name. But anyways, he comes up against the doctor who put the adamantium in his skeleton, and Sabretooth in the book. It's a really cool read. I suggest it. I mean, especially if you're going to go read Logan. It has no bearing on Logan. I will say that. If you want to read this to get up on what might happen in Logan.
Now, how have you read the original Old Man Logan story?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one do you feel ties in better with the movie?
I don't feel either really ties in at all. I feel the movie
Logan
stands
is
apart.
Really a stand. Okay. I like that.
It borrows heavily from some themes and imagery, but it doesn't. It's not those stories.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not what we all thought it was going to be.
That's good.
Okay, and since Bob is not here, someone's got to fill the back quota here. And that's going to be me. I'm going to talk a little bit about Detective Comics. They just started a story called League of Shadows. The prologue and part 1 are out now. $2.99 an issue, and it is worth every penny. This is a orphan-centric story. Huh? Oh, yeah, the issue number is R590, or 950 and 951.
Well, 950 is a oversized anniversary issue.
Oh,
so
that's right. No, yes,
increased.
the anniversary issue. Oh, shit. That's right. So, okay, one's $3.99, one's $2.99, whatever. Point is, this story is centered around Orphan. Some of you might remember her as Batgirl back in the day, Cassandra Cain. She's a former League of Assassins member who Batman has... Oh.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That is who we got the inspiration for.
Odle may be minutes away from having a baby, too. And here he is doing a podcast. Priorities. It's comic books.
I'll have comics in there with me.
Your baby will be there when you get there. Okay? I mean,
she's not going anywhere.
Right?
I have the car.
Oh, shit. Anyways, yes, it's an orphan-centric story about a League of Shadows that has, up to this point, Batman says, has been just a rumor, a fairy tale. So, and we all know that the League of Shadows, that was created for Batman Begins. They renamed it for some reason. Instead of League of Assassins, it was League of Shadows. So, they're bringing it into the Batman continuity here. Batman has claimed this entire time. It's a myth, it's a myth, it's a myth. Turns out, not a myth. So, spoiler, the story that's called League of Shadows is about the League of Shadows. But anyways, yeah, it's been really great. This anniversary issue 950 alone was like, it was all Orphan pretty much. And it's a large chunk of it is how she's shadowing this ballerina because she's only mastered a few ways to communicate in like simple speech. She laments on the fact that she can't convey how she feels about Batman and his faith in her. She can't convey how she feels like she's going to screw this all up or screw them all over. And she takes interest in ballet because she recognizes it as a way of speaking with your body. At this and up to this point, she's only known one way to speak with her body, and that is violently. So this is a much more beautiful form of expression. And even at one point in the book, she tries to incorporate ballet moves into her fighting style. It's I mean, if that is not like at least a little intriguing, especially if you're a Cassandra Cain fan like myself, you might not like this story, but
now I feel obligated to enroll Cassie in martial arts and ballet.
Well, yeah, of course. That actually, like, speaking truthfully, that's not a bad combo.
It's not.
Now, I'm going to speak about something I probably haven't talked about in a while, but
I think it's been a couple of years since you brought this up.
I'm going to bring up Superman. You might know him as the Man of Steel. He's the guy with the big red S on his chest. It's been around a couple of years.
That stands for Superman, right?
Stands for Superman, because hope starts with an H, dumbass. Anyways, Superman also just started a new story called Superman Reborn, starting in Superman number 18. This is coming to a head, and this is coming out of the stuff that's been going down in Action Comics, where there's been this mystery Clark Kent. To catch you up, Superman of the New 52 universe died. In his place stepped in the Superman from pre-Flashpoint, who was brought back into the main universe by the Convergence event that happened. All that stuff I'm not going to go into. You're going to have to go back, read Flashpoint, read Convergence. But point is, the original Superman is now the Superman, and the New 52 Superman is dead. So there shouldn't be a Clark Kent. But there's a Clark Kent. and it's got everyone like freaking out, especially because they brought him to the fortress. They've had Batman tail him. They've done everything that they can think of to prove that this guy is a fake, and yet his memories have checked out to be authentic. His DNA has turned out to be authentic. Cars turn out to be assholes. But no, they've done everything that they can to prove that he's not Clark Kent. Everything keeps coming up Clark Kent, but they know something's wrong. Well, these last two issues of Action Comics leading into this, issues 973 and 974, he starts getting a little weird. And it's all come up to this Superman Reborn Part 1 in Superman number 18. Now, the cover of this book is this really quaint, family-friendly image of John up on Superman's shoulders. Lois is like hanging around Superman's midsection, as a loving like
Crypto on the nose.
Yeah, they're playing with Crypto, who's flying up in the air, and then it's got this big picture of Superman off in the bottom right-hand corner, just smiling. It looks like a really, really nice book. You're gonna want to, if you're not crying, you're gonna be ready to by the end of this issue alone, and it is gonna make you need the next part of this story. I'm so upset that my comic shop wants to make money right now because they're closed. They're at a convention. I can't get my comics. I have to wait till next week to get this part 2. But silver lining to that, by next week, part 3 will be out in Superman, so I'll get to jump right into part 3 too. So, but yeah, I'm so excited about this. I know I've talked about Superman, how great it is, and how everyone needs to read it, but this right here is like the culmination of so much stuff that's been going on, and just the way this book ends. I will not say what happens. It starts off the way the cover leads you to believe, and then it hard left turns. And not in an out of nowhere type of way, really, if you think about some of the Rebirth stuff that's been going on up to it. But yeah, it's a great book, great story. I can't suggest it enough. Speaking of comics, one might suggest, DC just recently announced that they are doing another crossover with Batman. He's been in the Green Lantern books. Justice League is teaming up with Power Rangers.
Like
he's
had
been
Batman
with the Ninja
TMNT.
Turtles twice.
Yeah.
Second time around is way better. But but this new one, it's a little hard. I mean, I get it. Warner Brothers is in bed with DC, but do we really need Batman Elmer Fudd?
No, we don't. Okay, Elmer Fudd is a stupid, bumbling hunter who can't even bring himself to kill a rabbit. What the fuck's he gonna do to Batman? Is this team up gonna be Batman teaching Elmer Fudd how to kill fucking Bugs Bunny?
I've tried to come up with a reasonable.
Is it a versus book?
I've tried to come up with a reasonable idea of what this could be. I mean, the cover that they've released, the picture for the issue 1 that they've released, leads you to believe that it's. I would say it leads me to believe that it's a team up. To what end? I don't know.
What could Elmer Fudd possibly offer Batman?
I mean,
as a
now
teammate?
This has been the thing. Every time it's always been the DC characters in these crossovers that lend the hand to something else. So with the Green Lanterns and Star Trek, with the Green Lanterns and no, that was Star Trek Planet. No, yeah, Green Lanterns are doing Planet of the Apes right now too. Yeah. So I mean, every time they've done one of these crossovers, it's been the DC characters taking point. They're the helpful one. They're the ones they're bringing it all home.
But out of everyone, why Elmer Fudd?
What is so fucked up in Elmer Fudd's life right now that he needs the world's greatest detective from another universe?
Okay, Batman TMNT. There was some serious shit going down. The Turtles somehow got to his universe.
Yeah,
they were being reverted. They needed his help. That was a really good team up.
No, I mean, all the other ones make enough sense.
Did Elmer Fudd blow his hat off again, and Batman has to find it in a 4-part adventure?
I think it's going to be way more elaborate than that, and that's what's complicated, is because the concept is so stupid that if they try to get complicated, if they try to get deep with this, it's just gonna fall flat on its ass.
Because it's Elmer Fudd.
I have a theory.
Uh-oh.
I have a theory, and this is based off of recent DC stuff. Recent episode of Arrow, and the recent Green Lantern Batman crossover that they did. Now, I know, are you up to date on Arrow?
I have not watched this week's episode.
Okay. So you've seen the episode I'm talking about then.
Yeah.
And the Green Lantern issues, I'm sure you haven't read those yet, but DC seems pretty adamant on taking a stance in gun control issues. There was a whole episode of Arrow about it. And you know, if this had been seeded throughout maybe 2 or 3 episodes, it'd have to be 3. If it were seeded, a slow rise into an actual culminated episode about gun control, it wouldn't have been so weird. And I get it, maybe it's the CEO, or maybe it's just the company in general wants to take a stance on this. But there's a way to go about it. And the 2 examples I've seen, they just shoved it right in there. They're fucking gun control. Topics. Both sides of the fucking fence. Ah! And we forget about it in the very next issue and episode. Who cares?
So are you suggesting that this is going to be...
I feel like this is a gun control issue vehicle. Yeah.
Okay, that being said, herein lies my issue. Elmer Fudd uses a double-barrel shotgun. We've never seen him with anything else.
Yeah, true.
Elmer Fudd is known for his big floppy hat and double-barrel shotgun. Batman... Okay, we've seen Batman use guns before. The Batmobile's loaded with them. Depending on what continuity of Batman he may kill, he may not.
Let's keep it to post...
Do you want to keep it to Rebirth?
Yeah, post Flashpoint continuity Batman, because this is probably the Batman that's crossing over.
Okay, we'll keep it to this Batman. Okay, he has his morals. He doesn't kill. We don't necessarily know if this Batman is against guns or anything of that
Oh,
nature.
we do.
Like-
We do. Because in the Green Lanterns crossover, there is they take notice. Commissioner Gordon and Batman both take notice that Simon Baz has a gun,
Yeah.
and he's Commissioner Gordon's like, can't have that here in Gotham without these permits. Blah blah blah. Batman's basically saying, you ditch the gun, you're out on this one. Yeah,
right,
even though Batman's the one who called them, and they had this back and forth, this whole like 2 or 3 page back and forth about this fucking gun, and then they don't talk about the gun ever again until like later he has to shoot somebody, and then they make one little, oh, the gun came up, and then we're back right to whatever's happening. It's very interjected, but yes, this Batman does definitely have a stance on guns.
Was February like National Gun Control Month or
I
something?
don't fucking know, man.
Was there like a gun control week?
I don't know what it was. And again, like, okay, I don't really have a stance on it. I feel like there are stupid people on both sides of it. And DC, in their execution, has been lacking, but in their representation has been very good, because the points Batman makes and the points Simon Baz make in that book are very good. The points that everyone's making in that Arrow episode are very good. It's just how it was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, all of us, and that Arrow episode alone, they just keep pausing for it. They keep pausing to have a little snippet, and then they're like, oh, wait a minute, we've got something. And then it's back to like an actual episode of Arrow until later fucking Mr. Terrific is like, about guns again. It's him and Wild Dog just keep backing and forth, and it's just always it's so awkwardly injected, and
now we're past it, and it's
we think we're past it, but if I had to pick anything, the only reason this exists is a gun control issue.
Unless
is a gun control topic.
Unless for some reason they want to incorporate Batman into the next Space Jam movie.
Oh God, yes. Please, yes. Oh my God.
I don't know where this could go.
It's unnecessary. It's stupid. I'm not gonna read it.
I'm gonna read it just to find out what in the hell it's gonna be about. I'm not gonna buy it. I'll read it some
and I
other way.
recently added, like, because I read my comics on lunch, to the pile of comics I'm going to read on lunch, I just recently added a book called Superman for the Animals, and the cover depicts Superman flying above a busy freeway, and he's holding a cat. And then on a bridge, over top of the freeway, is like 5 kids who look really pissed off, and they've got a box in their hands, but it's overturned, as if they were about to dump a fucking cat onto the highway. So, yeah, if I'm going to read that, but not this, that tells you it's fucking stupid. It's just stupid. I would rather read DC's vehicle for not dumping cats onto the highway, led by Superman, than read this.
Killing kittens is bad.
Shit! I'm glad someone pointed that out for me.
Huh. Well, that's news.
Thanks, Superman, for preventing 5 serial killers from being born. Can't say he doesn't do anything for us. Moving on to something a little more pleasant, something I most definitely am going to see. Deadpool released like 6 different versions of the same trailer. We're going to talk more about the fuller version of it, because it's got everything that everyone saw in the theaters. It's got a couple little snippets here. He makes a phone call. Stan Lee's in it. But yes, Deadpool released a trailer, a little teaser trailer. Of course, none of this is going to be in the movie, but it was hilarious.
It did a very good job at keeping you hooked on the Deadpool movie trailer.
Oh yeah, it's definitely riding that gravy train of advertising that we fell in love with the first one.
Oh yeah. And I feel like we're going to get a Ben and Jerry's Deadpool flavor.
I hope so. Oh my God, there was a Stephen Colbert flavor, so why not?
Either that or, like, from now on, the Cherry Garcia flavor is going to have Deadpool's picture on it. I don't know.
I mean, that would be a great advertising tool.
But, like, there were so many great Easter eggs in this. Like, on the phone booth, we had Nathan Summers coming soon.
Like, the what, 8th confirmation that Cable's going to be in the movie?
Yeah.
I mean, we got a confirmation at the end of the first movie that Cable was going to be in the second movie.
We still don't know who it is. They still haven't cast Cable yet.
Oh my god! And some of the people they're talking about, Russell Crowe's name came up, and I was like, okay, cool. Someone else mentioned another Kurt Russell, I think, got brought up as possible.
Yeah, I think I've heard that one.
Me personally, and this wasn't one that they were talking about, like they might want to get him, they're looking at him for it, but I think this is just like a fan casting. But I think it would be amazing. Mel Gibson.
I've heard that rumor around too.
I think, like, I don't think he's in shape enough for it, but like if he really dedicated to getting in shape for it, and I know he's an older gentleman, but like I feel like he could do it.
I feel like he could. I don't know. Like, out of everyone out there, I don't think Mel Gibson's like tall enough for the role.
There's this. I mean, the dude wears heavy boots, so.
But I mean, like some of the names that I've heard thrown out there are Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman's a tall motherfucker, and I can see him pulling it off.
I can see it
because I mean he's broad, he's tall. Like if he needs to, he can have the build for it.
Yeah.
So like I think he could be a good candidate. Even Mel Gibson. Originally, Stephen Lang was gunning for the role. I don't know if he's being considered for it or not. They
definitely need to go for someone seasoned.
Yeah,
it needs to be someone a little older.
Stephen Lang, I've been all for the get-go. Do you know who Stephen Lang is?
Off the top of my head.
You watched the movie Avatar, right?
Yeah.
With the blue aliens?
Oh! He's the guy with the four scars across the
That's
side
Stephen
of his head.
He doesn't fit the height for it, but he fits everything else for that role.
I mean, in that movie, he looks like Cable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, okay.
Like,
man.
Because he's been gunning for that.
It.
He's been gunning for that role ever since it was announced.
Because that would be a great casting choice.
Like, me personally, him or Ron Perlman are my top two like choices for that role.
I'm all about Stephen Lang now. Now that like I definitely know who that is. Yeah, him. I like Mel Gibson is just a fantasy cast. Like, oh my god, this would be ridiculous. But and I feel like it'd be okay. Although the production for Deadpool 2 has ran into several little hiccups since but
not the issues Batman has.
Well, I think it is kind of having those issues. Not as extensive as like it's to the point where like fucking Ben Affleck's like, I don't even want to be Batman anymore. I fucking hate this. I fucking hate Batman. Fucking. No, I'm sorry. It does, like, it's gotten to the point where, and we really shouldn't be touching on this, but I do want to mention it. It's fucking so ridiculous. DC Warner Brothers, first of all, they just need to stop. Just stop. I know that we've got Aquaman's in production and Wonder Woman's about to come out, but just go ahead and release Aquaman and then just fucking stop, please. Because Flash is no closer to getting made. Batman's no closer to getting made. Man of Steel, we don't know shit about. Like, so I'm going to go ahead and say no closer to getting made. And then we've got Justice League coming out. And like, it's just so random and hackneyed and just like, it feels like it's just
Can we just have like a DC network?
At this point, it just feels like it's a mad scramble to get this shit out there.
It's since day one, since the DC movie universe has started, They have been trying to catch up to Marvel. I have said this from the get-go. They are trying to get that big Avengers-type money,
they want Avengers money
without putting in the time and the effort and the good work.
Yeah.
They don't want to put in the good work required to get that kind of money.
And because the DC cinematic universe is so soured, like from stage one, I don't blame Ben Affleck for getting to the point where he doesn't want to do it anymore. But I don't feel like that's why he doesn't want to do it anymore. I feel like he basically has said, he more or less, paraphrasing like 30 different quotes together, but more or less he said that it was the stress from the fans that wouldn't let him write. Like everyone was hounding him, and he kept complaining about it in this interview and that interview, and then all of a sudden he decides to quit writing it. I don't think those two things are not related.
I can understand that. I mean, fans set very high expectations.
But I believe, and then of course he's gonna keep getting hounded about it afterwards, and I feel like that's why he doesn't want to be Batman anymore. But when you took that role, you became Batman.
Everything that comes with it.
Anyone who says, "Oh, you should go see this movie," Christian Bale's in it. What do you think the first fucking thing people are thinking about when they think about Christian Bale? Oh, that dude was Batman. Yeah. So no, Ben Affleck is becoming childish about it, I think, because he wants to take his ball and go home because it turns out the game was a little harder than he thought it was going to be. That's what it is, and that pisses me off. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want to see this upcoming Batman movie. I don't, because I don't feel like it's going to be good. I don't feel like
his heart's not going to be in it.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's going to be evident.
I don't feel like
screen.
his heart's in it. I feel like the script's getting rushed already.
And it's not even in production.
Right. I feel like it's just going to be boom, 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 and then it's going to be here, and then it's going to happen, and we're going to be like, oh, well, that happened.
Yeah.
You know what they could do? They could pull another page out of a Disney property and fucking do Star Wars with Batman. There could be a Batman movie every month, and I'm not going to take credit for this statement because I heard Kevin Smith say this. But no, he's not wrong. They could do a Batman movie every fucking year. It's not like he doesn't have fucking lacking stories or villains or fucking crossovers he could do. This is so much Batman material that I've always said there should be a Batman TV show.
Yeah.
The cost would be astounding. But look at The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead pushes their fucking special effects budget every year because it's worth it. From the first series alone, which the special effects budget was crazy for, and they insist on doing practical and CG, which is stupid expensive. That is proof alone that it can work. That you can put that kind of money into it and it can come out good, and it's Batman.
But you know what? They could take the budget that they give shows like Arrow, Flash, Super, all that.
Yeah, and look
throw
at how
it
much
into the Berlantiverse.
Look at how much better Flash has gotten each year as far as the special effects. 3. Remember how shitty Grog looked before, and then think about how it looked recently.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's just good. You could make this Batman movie. Or you can make a Batman TV show so long as you throw the money at it and you tell the executives to shut the fuck up.
But the thing is, with execs like Jeff Johns and John Berlanti,
yeah, but
if they want to make like a DC network with all live action DC shows, have it tied into the CW network.
I just imagined. If they tied it into the Berlantiverse, Batman makes his first appearance in Arrow and just fucking shows Oliver Queen up. Oh my god, fucking, I'd be like,
yes!
Shit. Fucking keep the name Arrow, but keep Batman on it. This is Batman's show now.
But I mean, everything that's going on in the Berlantiverse right now is so good.
And you know what? This would be the type of stuff that would be Bruce Wayne's gone, let's say that Bruce Wayne's been gone for a while. This could tie Gotham into it, but and I can't remember why, but recently I discovered like it was something that happened on Gotham, and I was like, oh, so yeah, it's totally not part of the Berlantiverse.
No, Gotham's on a different network.
It could have been though,
and well,
they could have if they wanted to.
They could have, but from the get-go, Gotham has been labeled as this is not in continuity with anything.
Yeah, but up until recently, it always could have made that transition. They
could have
switched that if they wanted to. But anyways, we got way off topic.
We went from Deadpool. to Arrow, Flash, Batman,
you know why?
and the
Because Batman, the live-action TV series, is a way more interesting prospect than Deadpool 2. Like I loved the first Deadpool, and I love where this new one's going because Domino got recently cast for it. I don't recognize the actress's name. She was on something, Empire, I think, or Shameless.
Possibly. Shameless is one of the newer Netflix
I skimmed the. I'll be honest. I skimmed the article. I saw I was like, oh, that's a recent show. And that was it. I was like, I looked at her and I was like, okay.
I think I kind of know who that is.
I don't know shit about this actress. Cool. Why not?
We'll go with it.
Yeah. So, anyways, I love where it's going, but Batman's far more interesting. But yeah, moving on because we are running long on time now that
now that we've trailed off for a while.
Way off. But speaking of other trailers, that brings us into Phonebooth news. Dun, 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 dun. Guys, just a little. I feel like Phonebooth news is a self-explanatory. No, I said Phonebooth.
No, you said Phonebooth again.
Did I? God damn it. I came up with this name. I can't fucking say it, apparently. I did this like a million times before we started recording. But Phonebooth news, I feel like, is pretty self-explanatory. The idea here, Superman changes really quickly in a Phonebooth news. So, in a fucking fuck. In a Phonebooth.
Phone.
Racist Italian stereotype. Boppity boop.
Baby the boppity boop.
Okay. Phone booth news. Superman changes really quickly in a phone booth. So the idea here is we always have all this tons of news to get through, and then we always elaborate on each and everything when we don't really need to. And I feel like we're padding it to be padding it, and we don't need to do that. So from now on, we are going to have phone booth news in every episode. With just a real quick rundown of here's some cool shit that happened. Go check it out. Starting that off, going from trailers to trailers. Alien Covenant came out with a trailer. It looks really cool. A sequel to
Prometheus.
Sequel to the prequel.
The original Alien movie.
Prequel sequel between Prometheus and the Alien movies.
Look, it looks like a good Alien movie.
It looks really cool, yeah. It's got this mystery about a planet. It's got wheat on it, but it's completely silent. And you'll find that out. Yeah, no animals, no signs of life. So check that trailer out. If it's not intriguing enough to go watch, then fuck you. Then Pirates: Dead Men Tell No Tales trailer came out.
We see it's possibly Disney magic, young Jack Sparrow. We've got Long John Silver.
I don't know if that's actually Johnny Depp doing that part of the cast someone. Zombie Shark.
Yeah,
Zombie Shark.
How can you not want to see
Zombie Shark? Go watch the trailer. It looks like awesome Pirates action. But then again, so did number 4. And we saw how that turned out. So, I don't know. Grain of salt this one. Don't go in, blindly, but it looks fun. Moving on from there, we have a Darth Vader prequel comic that's coming out. This one is set, and the way they said it in the article is set just a second, after the very end of Star Wars Episode 3. So they're basically, he just got done screaming no, and it's going to pick up there. Which I think is really cool. The way they say it is this is going to be a brand new Darth Vader. Like we've never seen him before because this is still a young Darth Vader. He just lost his wife, his kids, and he is full of fucking rage. So the badassness we've seen in Rogue One, the badassness we saw in the first volume of Darth Vader, I'm assuming will pale in comparison to the fucking maiming and torture he puts people through in this.
And even still, the Vader we saw in Rogue One was a fairly young Darth Vader.
Fucking give me 2 hours of that Darth Vader. No, it wasn't.
Well, yeah, because
it wasn't. Because this is like fucking 20 years after the fact? This is middle-aged fucking this is older than... Shut up. Shut up, Odle. Going from Star Wars to Star Wars, a novel is coming out that finally gives us a little taste of what happened to Jar Jar Binks. And you know what? Good. He becomes a fool. He becomes a jester.
He's a clown.
Yeah, he is a clown, and people fucking make fun of him. The adults hate him, and the kids treat him like shit. So
he's not a Sith Lord like everyone thought.
And you know what? That is the only thing. The only thing that makes me happy about this news is that now that I know this, when people are like, "Well, people think it," I could be like, "You know what? Shut the fuck up." No, it's in this novel. He's a fucking fool, and someday he'll die, and we'll never talk about him again. So shut up. Jar Jar Binks is gone. It is solved. Mystery is solved. Whatever. But in much cooler news than Jar Jar Binks, Contra is being released on BR. It didn't say what. I don't think it said what BR. But we posted a video about that on the Sorta My Comics page. Go over there, give that a like, scroll down, check that video out because it's really, really fucking cool.
This brings us into the best world ever. Of the best era of gaming on VR.
You don't know, man. I would have loaded my card an extra 2 months just to get this on VR. If that had been like the first thing they had talked about, but no, we're months and months into this shit now. Now you're gonna come up with Contra? Like that was your selling point right there. That's why people come to the virtual reality as 2D video games.
Makes sense.
Anyways, TMNT Nickelodeon is going to be rebooting their Ninja Turtles cartoon. They haven't said really anything about that. We don't know if it's going to. This show is going to bleed in. The 3D show is going to bleed into this 2D show that they're going to do. If I had to take my best guess, and Odle said it best, they're going to do Teen Titans. They're going to Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
They have a perfectly good, awesome show, well animated, and then Teen Titans Go happened. So
you Cartoon Network. You Cartoon Network it. You take something good, people like it, then you fuck it up and make it cartoony or
you make it dumb and kids will buy it. But they have said that this is going to be a lot more kid friendly. So I seriously doubt it's going to continue on from the other show, which is amazing. Fuck this show. I think it's on Hulu. Go to Hulu, watch every episode of the new Ninja Turtle show. Well, I mean, it's been out for a few years, but yeah, check out the 3D Nickelodeon TMNT and forget everything I just said. But Gotham, they cast a Ra's al Ghul finally, which is fucking. I mean, thinking about Ra's al Ghul being on that show, I'm now finally at a place where I'm like, well, Jim Gordon's fucked. Because I'm like, he's not gonna beat Ra's al Ghul. It's like,
wait, do you still watch Gotham?
Oh yeah.
See, I haven't watched any of this season.
Oh, do it. I can't. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to go on another 20-minute tangent. I got to just do it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's really cool. Now, okay, forgive me. I read a lot of comics. I watch a lot of TV. I'm trying to keep up with movies. I have 2 kids, a full-time job. Blah blah blah. I don't remember every fucking name of every fucking actor and every fucking character. But best I can explain it, this actor was at one time in Star Trek. Couldn't tell you off the top of my head who he was. But he was also the character in Game of Thrones whose son is going to marry the Lannister girl. He's in a wheelchair. His wife ends up, spoiler alert, his wife ends up killing him. That guy is going to be Ra's al Ghul. And so if you know who I'm talking about, you're probably like us, oh, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I can see it.
He looks the part. He really does.
More DC news. Dr. Fate got announced for Injustice 2.
Which let's be real for a second. Dr. Fate is a badass.
Yeah, that is a really, really cool addition. An overlooked character in large DC all around. And I can't wait to use Dr. Fate. And still, at this point, we have so many more characters to be announced. The pre-order characters. I've got the Ultimate Edition, and they still haven't even announced what the 3 characters you're going to get for that is. There are 3 characters.
Well, no, what is it? Darkseid's one of the pre-order characters?
Darkseid is just a pre-order character. And then there's skins and this stuff and that stuff, blah, blah. But, yeah, I mean, we've got Swamp Thing, we've got Atrocitus, Supergirl. Cheetah got announced in this, Women of Injustice trailer.
Okay.
Well, she's a Wonder Woman villain. She's a top Wonder Woman villain too.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people are starting to forget actual Wonder Woman villains because these past 7 years, it's been all God this, God that, and she's the fucking God of War right now. Wonder Woman is. So that it's been all about the fucking Greek gods, and everyone's like, oh, Cheetah. Cheetah was the thing.
I remember that now.
Yeah. And last on our twirl through the phone book, fuck! God, that was a great line too, and I fucked it up. Our twirl through the phone booth. I'll get used to it. Gen 2 hit for Pokemon Go. Awesome. I don't get to play very. I don't ever. I'm not. Fuck. That's a lie. I don't ever fucking play anymore. And I love the concept of this game, but I got left in the dust, and it makes it hard for me to play it because if I'm just playing it, I'm playing it for me. If I'm playing it for me, there's 20 other things that I want to do for me before I want to play Pokemon Go, like play Pokemon Sun and Moon, which I play maybe 20 minutes to a half an hour a week. So yeah.
I don't know. I get a good bit of playtime on it.
You've got the fucking pedometer with you, it's sitting right here.
It gives the people a reason to get back into it. Everyone stopped because there's nothing to fucking do.
Well,
but we still don't have Gen 2 is great.
Yeah,
that brought some of my favorite Pokemon.
Huge Gen 2 fan. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are my favorite Pokemon games of all time because before they came out, Gold and Silver were my favorite games of all time, and they took everything I loved about Gold and Silver, upgraded it, added new Pokemon, and then took from Crystal, where Pokemon could follow you around, and added that into the game. And I was like, fuck yeah! Wait. They could follow you around in Crystal, right? I know they could do it in Yellow.
I don't think they could in Crystal.
I don't know. But point is, they added that. They were like, oh, you know that thing you loved from Crystal? Well, how about doing it with every fucking Pokemon? So, yeah. Great addition to Pokemon Go for the regular player. For the Gold and Silver lover who may have not tried it yet, hey, here's your reason. But yeah, no, cool news. And Odle, I think you had something a passing interest of yours.
Just a quick note. Iron Fist comes out on the 17th. That's less than a week away.
Yeah.
Get fucking ready. There's a Colleen Wing video that Netflix just released.
I think. We were looking at that on YouTube. I noticed a couple. I think they've got a couple, since the I Am Danny Rand thing, which we posted on the Sort of My Comics page. You should go over there and like that page.
Check it out real quick.
Yeah,
get caught up.
But no, I think they've released a few different ones. Go to YouTube, blah, 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 and
just check it out. Get ready.
Read
some Iron Fists.
Yeah.
Get ready for the show. It's coming.
Reviews have, and even if you don't have the time to get ready for the show, but you intend on watching the show, don't worry. Every one of these Netflix shows has done an amazing job at dipping your toes in the water with these characters. You you're not going to be a stranger to Iron Fist by episode 5.
Like, whether you're a longtime reader of these characters or you've never heard of them in your life, it gives you enough of their backstory and origin throughout the show for you to know who they are, where they came from, but it still gives you enough of that, like, this day action.
Yeah.
So,
and this is the last stop
before the Defenders.
On our way to the Defenders. So, check that out. If you haven't checked out Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, arguably the best of all of them so far. The 2 seasons of Punisher, get yourself.
The 2 seasons of Daredevil, which gave us Punisher.
You know what? Punisher. While I was trying to say Daredevil, but I was thinking about the Punisher because I want that. Because they said we're getting a Punisher show.
We are.
I want it.
We have set photos.
Did set photos come out?
Yeah, there's only 2. One of them, he's jumping over the hood of a cop car.
It's going to be an amazing show.
I'm convinced.
Okay, now that we've done our phone booth thing and we're all changed into our
we're stepping out into our heroic attire.
Let's talk about Patrick Stewart and boobies. Let's talk about Patrick Stewart with boobies.
Well, they could actually kind of tie in with what we're talking about here in a few minutes, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Anyways, Patrick Stewart has regretfully announced that he is also done, and I guess he's done with the X-Men franchise. And I guess this came about during, maybe it was not. I don't think it was one of the showings of the movies, like one of the premieres, but I think it was like they were watching the film before it came out, and he looked over to Hugh Jackman and said, "I think I'm done too." And like what? It was so moving, I guess. But and I saw him on Conan talking about them doing the Berlin Festival, and Logan. A little side note about Logan, superhero movies don't go to these festivals, but the Berlin Film Festival sought out Logan. So if you're thinking you're going into your typical superhero movie, obviously that is not it.
Yeah.
Avengers was not at the Berlin Film Festival. So, and then while they were there, I guess it was, there was a moment where he saw Hugh Jackman, like, tearing up at a point.
Oh,
and
really?
the whole time he had been like trying to conserve himself, and he was like, "God damn it! If Hugh Jackman can cry in a room full of people, I can do it." They're like, So like they've been on this whole ride together, and I guess this is the culmination of that ride together. Is Patrick Stewart said, "Yeah, I'm done. This feels like the right way to go out." But he did say he would come back for one thing. He said he's interested in the prospect of doing something with Deadpool. If he gets to do something with Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, he'll jump back into the role for that, which I think is just an awesome idea.
It is. They'd have to work some magic, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, they've already shown the Xavier School in the first Deadpool movie. So, yeah, but they can backtrack. Don't pantomime things without thinking about them first. Like Deadpool, these Deadpool movies obviously take place before Logan. So, that's 2029. Anyways, So Patrick Stewart would be a great addition to these movies, and it would be awesome to see the McAvoy Stewart line. Like have a culmination, like not just be a one note joke, but actually like have a payoff like later on with like an even bigger punchline in a future movie. So that would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he just popped up in X-Force, because they did announce that Deadpool's going to be in X-Force.
Yeah.
So even if he just popped up in X-Force, that'd be great.
I think if nothing, I think we'll at least get a cameo with him making a statement like that.
Yeah.
They're at least going to be like, "We want you in this scene," and he'll be like, "Okay."
But it does suck because the one thing that sucks about it is that I was so excited after Days of Future Past because, and not that it was like an amazing movie. It was an okay movie, not the worst, but
what it set up.
Yes, I felt like we're finally gonna get that X-Men 4. You know, obviously it wouldn't be the fourth movie, but like I was so sure we were gonna jump right into another X-Men movie with these characters.
It reset everything that they fucked up.
I mean, it shows fucking all the guys, James Marsden and fucking Halle Berry, and just all the original actors from the original fucking X-Men movies are right there at the end of that film, and it's the perfect way to lead into another movie with these guys.
Yeah. But instead, they're going the route of the.
Well, yeah. Instead, we will probably never see any of those actors in any of those roles ever again, because what ties it all together is Hugh Jackman and fucking Patrick Stewart. You don't have those two. What's the point in showing the other ones? Like, how do you work them in? Unless James Marsden shows up in a Deadpool movie, which I mean, I could buy that, but anyone else, and that's only because of cable. Yeah. Anyone else, they're done. You know, they're done. And Halle Berry really wants to fucking do Storm again, too. So, like,
I could almost see her getting a Storm movie before another X-Men movie would be made.
What's the point?
But like, you see where I'm going with
hey, you know that really convoluted and complicated X-Men franchise we've set up? Here's another random movie. Figure out where that goes.
I mean, they did it how many times with Wolverine?
Yeah, but at least you can piece that together, and they do have that timeline video that we posted to the SMC page, which you can go over like that page and check that out.
If you're getting ready to go see Logan, it's a good video to check out.
Yeah,
go to our page, check it out.
We're better to see it than Sorta Comics. I mean, God,
it's your one-stop shop.
It's your one-stop shop for nothing. You can't buy anything there. But
one-stop shop for free nerd news.
Yeah. But speaking of characters coming back and Stewart saying that he'd come back for Deadpool, Hugh Jackman did say he's pretty damn he's been pretty adamant about shutting down any Deadpool Wolverine crossover, which really fucking sucks because we need Wolverine in X-Force. Sorry, like X-Force, I'm excited for it because it has Deadpool. I'm excited for it because it's X-Force. But there are two characters that are big parts of X-Force that you want to be in X-Force that aren't going to be there. And that's Wolverine and X-23. Because if Deadpool fits into the X-Men continuity, the X-Men universe, which it suggests that it does, you have X-23 not being born yet. Like far from being born, and then Wolverine, and then Hugh Jackman saying he's not going to play the role anymore. He's not going to do a crossover with Deadpool. So we lose both of those characters just based on those two things. So that sucks. But he did say he would come back for Avengers.
I want that.
If they ever, oh my god, fucking Sony. First of all, what's the Marvel cinematic? Like, what's the Marvel universe without fucking the linchpin of Reed Richards? You know. First of all, you guys should already be talking to Marvel about fixing your whole Fantastic Four dilemma.
Sony did it. Why not Fox?
Yeah, Fox. That's right, Fox. You need to bring that shit up.
Whether you just sign over all the rights, which would be the smart move to do.
No. Because they're finally on to something like with their X-Men franchise. People are buying these tickets. So.
Give Marvel Studios the rights to Fantastic Four.
Well,
share the rights with the rest.
Yes.
And you will see more money than you ever could have hoped for. You will see more happy fans.
Work out a little deal. And I mean, Doctor Strange has introduced the multiverse.
Yeah.
So the multiverse is now a thing. It can easily be crossed over. You can't say like, oh, well, what about why are none of the other X-Men ever a part of any of this stuff? Why is this stuff never a part of the X-Men stuff? Oh, because he's from a different universe. Boom. And now Wolverine's fucking teaming up with SpiderMan. Because that's what I want. fuck Tony Stark, fuck Captain America. Don't care about him interacting with them at all. It would be cool. I'm not going to turn it down. But I want fucking Spider-Man and Wolverine on Whirlwind Adventures. I want the Spider-Man Wolverine movie. And then on a road trip.
It would be like one of those buddy comedies,
right?
That really never should have been made, but you're so glad it was.
Well, they've interacted so much in the comics, tons in the comics, and it wouldn't be difficult to mine for material, and just having them work off of each other, it would be so great.
Yeah.
But speaking of Wolverine road trip movies. Let's talk about Logan.
Spoilers ahead. You've been warned.
So many spoilers.
Don't bitch.
Oh my god. Speaking of fucking Logan spoilers, I can't even remember what it was that the original thing was because I got so pissed off after I saw the other thing. But someone posted this picture and it had like 3 pictures in it, and then it was saying something. They're totally unrelated to Logan. And then down in the corner, it says, and here's the big spoilers, which we would have alluded to until I started saying this, but now I've set it up and I have to finish it. And I didn't think about it before I started talking about it. Anyways, in the corner, it says, Professor X and Wolverine die in Logan. And that's it's the biggest dick move, and I was so fucking pissed off. And I was like, even though I'd already seen the movie at this point. When I saw it, I was like, it hasn't been out that long yet. Dude, seriously, don't fucking do that shit. Like, if you are that kind of person, you are fucking garbage as far as the internet goes. Maybe you're a completely decent person outside of your Facebook page, but as far as being on social media, you are a fucking garbage person, and you deserve to have your account deleted.
I agree. It's kind of like Bob getting episode 7 ruined for him.
Yeah, right? I know I'm like the only wrestling fan on the podcast, but they had Fastlane recently, and spoilers, if you're a wrestling fan, you haven't seen Fastlane, it hasn't been ruined for you. Goldberg's the fucking Universal Champion, which is awesome, because I wanted that to happen, and that's the whole reason I came back to wrestling, was because Goldberg came back to wrestling, and they announced that Kurt Angle was going to be in the Hall of Fame. Love Kurt Angle. But, anyways, fucking internet ruined that for me. Because I even have a friend who I talked about with wrestling shit, and he messaged me, he was like, have you seen Fastlane yet? And I was like, no, I haven't seen it yet. I'm a few weeks behind. And he was like, okay, well, I won't ruin it, but message me as soon as you see it, because I want to talk about this. And then I had to send him a message 2 days ago, and I was like, I know what happens. It was like, fucking internet ruined it for you. But yeah, no. If you post this shit, man, if it's not a month old, you're a fucking asshole. You're just a fucking dick. And you should just delete your fucking social media account because you're an asshole and a dick. A fucking garbage person.
Anyway, on to Logan. Okay, one of my first perceptions of this movie, maybe 20 minutes in,
let's talk about what we thought what we thought we were going into.
Okay.
I think we've talked about that on a previous podcast, but that's a while back.
Going into it, I anticipated more of okay, this is kind of like Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
And in a sense, he was Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
I really wanted people to call him Old Man Logan, but
somebody in the movie calls him Old Man at one point.
Yeah, but no one ever calls him Old Man Logan. But I knew it wasn't anything that really tied into everything or to anything comic wise. But I also I wanted it to tie into some things.
Yeah.
But going into it, I had pretty high expectations.
Well, I thought it was going to be and I voiced this opinion to you on several different subjects in the movie, especially X-23, that they were going to be mixing too many different stories. I thought that this was going to contain Death of Wolverine. And this is before I saw the movie, nothing had spoiled it for me. I was just like, a fucking tuxedo. That's from Death of Wolverine. He's going to die in this movie. Well, you knew that once you heard that Hugh Jackman, this was his last one, like, you knew he was going to die.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, anyone who didn't see that going in, like, I'm not going to bash you. Like, I can perceive that, but, like, come on. Anyways, I thought it was going to be Death of Wolverine, Old Man Logan, because the trailers make it look kind of like a dystopian future. Like, they don't really show you that this is, like,
everything
that the modern world still exists.
Yeah, everything you see is, like, desert.
Desert this, like fucking action over here and shit. Yeah.
So, desert, woods.
You see them having that family dinner in the trailer, and you don't know that there are other people there. Yeah. Like, you just said, I assumed that they had just fucking broke into an abandoned house and were having this dinner, because it looks like it's by candlelight and shit. Yeah, like, the trailer is very deceptive in that right, and I felt like I didn't know exactly what X-23 story they were going to go with. I mean, obviously an origin story, but I didn't know if they were going to get the NYX stuff involved, or, you know, what they were going to have. So, yeah, I felt like there were a lot of stories going into this one. None of these stories, none of them. And, I mean, they even tweaked X-23's backstory a little bit. But it's, you know, it's Fox, X-Men. Don't go and expect anything to be, like, on the button.
But nothing's going to be canon.
Yeah, but no, they complete, like, there's some imagery. There's some stuff that they obviously, like, borrowed imagery and impact from the comics.
Yeah.
But as far as story goes, no, it does not involve any of those stories.
It's its own story.
It is definitely its own story. And a lot of people have been pissing me off, calling this like, this is like the quintessential superhero movie. Like, this is the superhero movie for superhero movies. And no, it's not. It's not at all. It is a Western with superpowers. The superpowered people in it, and in fact, most of the people you see in it, they don't even have superpowers. They're cyborgs. So yeah, they're Reavers.
Yeah,
the Reavers. So yeah, no, it's definitely not what you think going into it.
Yeah. So like it has the hints of, like, some of the Old Man Logan, like, backstory of things that have happened to the world.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you're seeing Logan. You're not seeing Old Man Logan. You're not seeing Death of Wolverine. You're not seeing Wolverine issues 233 to 254 or anything like that. Yeah. You're seeing Logan.
Yeah.
And overall, fantastic movie.
Yeah, great movie. I left the theater with these, and I posted this on my Facebook page. I think I posted it on my Twitter, too, because I started doing Twitter again. You can like me on Twitter at Vin the Human. Follow me on there, whatever. I don't post anything interesting there. But anyways, I posted this online that, like, I was leaving the theater with the strangest mixture of hope and depression.
Yeah, like, okay, getting a little bit deeper into the movie here. Like, every X-23 action sequence, my adrenaline was going. My heart was pounding out of my chest. These scenes were so fucking intense. Right. Like, and then you add what she's doing, and then you add in Logan, and they're fighting with her, for her, all that.
That scene, like, in the woods, where they're
both...
and that growl. You hear that, like, you don't even see him yet. You just hear that, that fucking... Hugh Jackman can only do that growl. And it's so perfect for Wolverine.
It is.
And you hear that coming up, like, over the fucking hill. And then he comes up and he's just... It's just, like, fucking
full berserker rage at that point.
And then she has her... And this little girl, let's talk about this little girl for a second. Like, I don't know this actress's name, but wow, they just nailed, like, casting, because it's not easy to act without words. And she doesn't talk, like, for 70% of this movie. Like, all the way up to
more than that.
Like, but even so, like, very early on, like, right after, like, she gets to Professor X and Logan, like, there's that scene where she's eating cereal and she hears the door open and she's just expressing this like this kind of like
I just want to eat my cereal.
Suspicion while at like readiness, but also annoyance all at the same time, just with a look or two. Wow.
Yeah.
How do you get that out of like what? That girl's like 9, 10? Shit.
Like
I can barely get my son to find his shoes. My 11-year-old son, and yeah, wow.
Like she was very. I'm trying to think of the word. Like very expressive.
Yes.
Throughout the whole movie, like she conveyed her emotions, how she felt, just right there.
And she had her own little growl, her own little like this
like,
little aggressive fucking
this little girl that is insanely pissed off.
Like it's scary. It is fucking scary. And then especially when she's doing it, she's just like sitting on somebody's neck and just jabbing her fucking claws into them.
And then, God, I didn't know that X-23 had foot claws.
You didn't know that?
No.
You and so many other people like fuck.
Like I've always wondered where the third claw was.
No, I think Bob asked me about that.
Yeah, Bob said he was talking to me
Bob
about
asked me about that too, and Boba Fett was like, wait a minute, has she always had those? And I was like, yeah. I was like, that's like a big thing.
Yeah, but like, and the best part of that was I don't know if it was the woman's or if it was the professor or someone's description of her. I think it was professor's. Like she has the tickles like the female lion.
It says it's an obvious expression of her mutation because she's a female. Yeah, and then he compares it to female lions because they're both hunters.
The front claws and the back claws for defense, and all that. I'm like, that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, and I don't know if they ever put it that way in the comics.
I don't know, but that was so well put. But okay, so I have a little bit of an issue. The first like I'd say 20, 25 minutes of the movie, a lot of the language felt forced. Like obviously being rated R, they can say fuck as many times as
but they poured it on.
They did. And it was
worse than I do. It
was excessive. It felt way too excessive, especially from Patrick Stewart. Like the first God, several times before they got on the road.
I don't know.
Like the first several times they felt almost forced. Like when he was laying in the bed in the beginning after he got his medicine and all that, the first couple felt forced.
I get where you're coming from with that. And I would disagree to the opposite point. That I felt like Logan was cursing a shit ton in the very beginning, and it felt like a kid discovering curse words.
Yeah.
And then, like, later on, it's not like that he stops cursing, but later on, when he's using it to excess, it feels a lot more natural. Like when he's beating the shit out of that truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. My God. Like, I've been there at work, like, so many times. But Patrick Stewart, think about any, like, crotchety old man you've ever known.
Yeah.
They emphasize that, like, they like to... Now, they'll use it casually. They'll use fuck casually to like anyone else does. But there will be times, especially when they're fucking irritated or they're frustrated, that they will just fuck. They will force that fuck because they want that extra emphasis on there to express exactly how displeased they are with whatever the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just a perfect representation of where Stewart is because he's doped up. He's fucking everyone's pissing him off because he knows he's doped up, but he's also losing his mind. He's having these seizures. He's a fucking crotchety, world-weary old man, and we're dealing with a much different kind of crotchety, world-weary old man because we're not dealing with the one who's like, oh, I didn't write that song. I felt like writing back in '72.
I pissed my pants this morning.
Yeah, like I mean, we're talking like I was the leader of the goddamn X.
I was leader of the mutants. Then I killed a shit ton of people.
Yeah, and I mean, there's that pure disdain, that comes through his voice when he's telling Logan that he's so disappointed in him, right there at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious that we're dealing with a bitter old man right here, and yeah, I mean, I because of that, I feel like every single fuck he utters there is right in line with his attitude. With the kind of character he's trying to portray. And I think what bothers a lot of people, because you're not the only one to say that about Patrick Stewart in the beginning, I think it's just because it's Professor X.
Yeah.
I think it's just because of Professor X. Not a lot of people are putting that thought into where his character is, how old he is at this point. I mean, because in the first X-Men movie, he's supposed to be in his 60s? Right?
God, no. Has to be older than that.
No, I think because think about the prequel movies. And he's only just 30 in what X-Men
He's
Apocalypse? I think he's in his 30s by X-Men Apocalypse, and that takes place in the 80s. 30.
No, those take place in the 70s.
No, the X-Men Apocalypse is in the 80s. Yeah.
So then if he's in his 30s in the 80s, and this being almost 50 years, because in 2029, that's almost 50 years after 1980. So I think Apocalypse happened in 84, if I remember right. Somewhere around there.
Something like that.
So, okay, we're 45 years after that. He's at least in his 70s. If
45 years after 84?
Yeah. 80?
No, that'd be 30 plus. 84, 94, 2004, 2014.
That's 30.
Yeah.
2024.
So if you think
that's 40.
So back up to 2000, because 2000 was when the first X-Men movie came out.
Wait, are you talking about how old Professor X would be,
or
how old Patrick Stewart is?
No, Professor X. Obviously.
I don't know how old Professor X was.
Professor X, I believe... Well, no, I'm basing this off of the prequel X-Men movies. Based on his age at these certain points. Because they do, they do make a point of that. And just guarding that up to 2000, which is the first X-Men movie, he's got to be about in his 50s, roughly, in that movie. So jump that up to 2029. That's an extra 30 years. Now he's 80. He's old as fuck in this movie.
You just said 60. That was what this whole thing was about. You said he's 60.
I said
he's fucking older than that.
I said 50, 60 in the first X-Men movie. That's what I said. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, so, no, but I see where you're coming from, but I disagree entirely. Because of, just my experience with crotchety old men.
Well, it just... To me, like I said, it was one of those things, it felt like, this is an R-rated movie. We can say fuck as much as we want.
And that's where I feel like Logan is the one who comes in. Because, there's the one he's, I think he's talking to the Reavers. And he says, fuck, 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
Right in, just a couple seconds.
And it did. A lot of his...
It stood the fuck out.
Yeah, early in the movie... that's mainly what I'm saying is early in the movie, a lot of the use of the word fuck was forced or overdone.
Yeah.
But then as the movie progressed, it worked its way into normal conversation, how we would use it as emphasis, stuff like that. It felt like it was more in the flow of things.
Yeah.
But other than that, that was really my only issue with this movie.
My issue?
And it was...
and it's a pretty big issue too. Why the fuck did they go and eat dinner with that family? They know people are following them. You can't even give because Professor X seems to be of sound body and mind around this moment. So you can't even give him that handicap because he's the one who kind of forces the point. Let's go eat dinner with them. So why the fuck did they go and eat dinner with this family? They know these people are hunting them. They've already seen these people killed in the pursuit of them. So
I kind of felt the same. I'm
they
why?
ruined this fucking family so Professor X could have a good day.
Not even a good day. So the Professor X could... So that he could try to prove a point is what this was.
Yeah.
Granted,
no, you know what? Yeah, that's true.
They are 2 days on the road. Yeah. They're hungry. They're tired. Yada, yada. I get that. Okay? But this was all so that he could prove a point. This is what life could have been like.
This is what life is like.
This is life. You know, isn't this a nice life?
Jean Grey has seen herself naked in the mirror, and I've been inside her head. Suck on it, Logan. But I could probably project that into your head. Fuck you. I don't know when that popped into my head, but it was like, you know what? At any time, he could have pulled that out. They're like, yep. Well, I've seen Jean naked. You did it.
But like,
fuck you, Logan.
Like, all that was, it was to prove a point.
Yeah.
And you know what happened because Professor X tried to prove a point? He got a family killed, he got himself killed, and he damn near got Logan killed.
And if they wanted this to be a plot device to end up getting fucking getting Professor X killed, and it could only happen if Logan wasn't around, then there were so many other ways they could do that. They could be camping out, or they could be in a hotel room or something, and fucking, like, you could have Patrick Stewart's having one of his episodes. Professor X is having an episode. Not a seizure, not one of those fucking, like, freeze everything, possibly kill everyone, freeze seizures. But, he's having one of his episodes, fucking arguing back and forth with Wolverine, and he insists on Wolverine getting him this thing or whatever, you know? Fucking maybe he wants a burger, like a specific fucking burger. He's like, I'm gonna fucking die anyways, and like, give me this shit. And like, you know, Wolverine being how he is, probably get fed up and be like, alright, fucking go. And like, he fucking goes a few miles down the road to this place that they saw on their way into this town to stop at this hotel, and then boom, fucking X-24 comes up, kills fucking... It could have been done without needlessly sacrificing a family. So Professor X proved one. Now I'm not saying that because I like those scenes too.
Yeah, they were good, especially like leading up to his death.
Yeah,
like the things that he was saying, like he was talking to Logan and all that. Like they were very endearing things.
Yeah,
things that were like, well, shit. Like, they really made you feel something.
Yeah, and if you wanted to come to the real revelation of the of how he killed the X-Men and like 90% of the mutants on the planet, it could have just been him flipping through TVs, and maybe he sees like a commercial for something that reminds him of the Phoenix, and then he thinks about Jean Grey, and then
or like today marks the X year that this happened.
Yeah, right. There are so many other ways that they could have gotten all these things that they wanted, aside from the nice little family moment. Because that's all we really get out of it. And that and a cool moment where Wolverine's like, fuck you guys. Like, he breaks the dude's gun.
Yeah. That... I enjoyed that part.
I enjoyed it quite a lot too. And then X-24 straight up murders the fuck out of those guys, and that's great.
Oh my god.
And X-24, let's talk about that. I don't know if X-24 was a thing in the comics.
I don't know either. Yeah. My first thought was it was Dakin. That was my first thought.
That would have been cool. But it would have made way less sense.
It would have been very misplaced.
Yeah, it would have been out of
because when he killed Professor X, I was trying to look. I'm like, okay, how are his claws placed? How are they placed? Because I was looking, I'm like, oh, they're in a line.
Yeah, no, when he pulls them out, you can clearly see that it's like 3 holes in the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, when that happened, see, and I feel a little stupid because apparently a lot of people, like, as soon as they noticed that they weren't showing his face, like, before even Patrick Stewart gets killed, like, a lot of people, like, called, it's not Logan. Nobody, like, called, like, that's a fucking clone of Logan, but, like, nobody thought that it might be Logan.
Yeah.
So, like, I felt, like, kind of stupid, because, like, I'm, like, sitting there, I'm watching that scene, and then I see the fist on the chest, I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right, and then the fucking claws come out, and I was actually surprised. I was like, what?
Yeah. Me and Bob were like...
I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then, like, you look and it's Logan, and I'm like, Why is Wolverine killing Professor X?
Where does hair go?
I was so scared. I was like, what? But no, yeah, it was definitely fucking cool. And wow, just them fighting.
Yeah.
Let's state this. If you're expecting Wolverine to be a total badass throughout this movie, that is yet another thing people go into this movie thinking you're not going to get that. Wolverine gets his ass handed to him
in every fight scene.
Almost every fight scene. Like, because he fucks up those guys trying to steal his fucking rims. He fucks up those guys.
Well, yeah, but
he takes a bit of a beating.
He gets hit hard during he gets
and it activates his
and then he gets pissed off because they shoot his only source of income.
That guy's arm off.
That was great.
And then he has trouble getting that one claw out.
Yeah, so we have the scene he sits there, he pulls the claw out,
and I'm sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, oh god. But yeah, maybe he couldn't get it back in unless he had to pull it out. Because I would have just been like, well, not getting that one out.
So much.
But yeah, no, the Reavers fucking take him down in that one scene. If it wasn't for X-23, he wouldn't have gotten out of that.
If it weren't for X-23, he probably would have gotten killed there.
Yeah.
God, that scene. We were talking where she's in there eating the cereal and they walk in. And then she just walks out with the one dude's head and throws it.
Oh, God. And then, oh, wow. No, it's just so tense the entire time. And at no point, and I feel, I don't know how this conveys for people who don't know anything about X-23, but I feel like they felt the same way. They had to have felt the same way. At no point during that moment do you not think that little girl's about to fuck up all these dudes.
Oh my god.
Because it's just so tense and she is not flinching for a second. She just knocks that backpack off. Claws come out slowly. And then you start seeing the fucking main Reaver. I don't know his name. You start seeing that dude get fucking worried. Yeah. And you're like, all of them are dead and she's 9.
This has probably been one of the more exciting movies.
Oh, this is definitely. I'm gonna come right out and say this is probably the best X-Men movie to come out so far. Definitely the best Wolverine movie.
Oh, absolutely.
This is the first one where I've been like, I gotta get that as soon as it comes out on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah.
Which is, if you haven't heard, maybe we should have thrown this in Quickie News, or Phone Booth News. But there's going to be a black and white feature on the Blu-ray to where you can watch the movie in black and white. And I downloaded a couple of screenshots from the movie, and I was going to post them to Instagram. And I thought, what about black and white? And I tried a few of them with black and white. They looked awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't post them that way because I was like, I don't feel like this is conveying what I want to say here. But just seeing them like that, I was like, this movie would look great in black and white. And then boom, they break the news. And I was like, well, I'm getting the Blu-ray.
100% best X-Men, best Wolverine, everything. And we don't have any other X-Men in this, but this, I guarantee, is going to set up our New Mutants.
It does have one returning character from a previous X-Men movie, X-Men Apocalypse. The guy... Okay, during the movie, you've seen Apocalypse, right?
Yeah, the professor, or not professor.
No. Where Apocalypse finds Psylocke. Psylocke is working as muscle for this pale dude who's well-versed in information.
Is that who that is?
That's who that is. What is his name?
I can't think of his name.
I can't remember his mutant name, but anyways, that's who the albino mutant is that's helping Wolverine and
shit, I didn't even realize that.
I don't know if it's the same actor, but it's the same character.
It's the same mutant.
Yeah, it's the same mutant.
Okay.
So yeah. They do have one returning character right there. Other than Professor X and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Did you know Wolverine was in the movie? Wolverine's returning character from the X-Men movies. Little known fun fact.
But it's just... like I can't wait for it to set up these future movies.
It does set up New Mutants. It should set up New Mutants.
Yeah.
We've gotten confirmation New Mutants is a movie that's coming out. It's one of their planned parts of the franchise. What we get from it, I don't know. Whether it's like a few years down the road, whether it picks up with these kids, because if it does, they need to get the fuck started. Because kids grow up fast. Walking Dead showed us that.
Yeah.
Because Carl's like fucking growing a beard.
The thing about it is, like, I feel like it's gonna stem from this movie, like with those kids, because there was so much emphasis, like after Professor X, like this is the New Mutant.
Well, yeah, no, he
like,
puts a lot.
Stressed New Mutant, New Mutant, New Mutant.
Well,
New Mutants.
no, they don't. Okay, you say it like they said it like 20 times. They only say it like maybe 2 or 3 times during the movie, and I think honestly it's like pretty subtle each time they say it, because I can only think of the one time Patrick Stewart says it.
Well, he says it a few times, and then the guy who ran the lab, he even like
yeah, I know the guy who ran the
New
lab
Mutants a few times.
But no, anyways, yeah, no. What I feel is more like them saying this is going to lead into New Mutants is the gravity that Professor X puts on it is like, we weren't the end, they're the beginning.
Yeah.
Now let's talk Professor X speculation on how he killed all the... And I know we stated it earlier, but yes, in this movie it gets revealed that the other X-Men aren't around because Professor X killed them. But it's never stated whether he's responsible for all the other mutant deaths, which I could only guess is true. Because what if his first seizure happened while he was in Cerebro?
See, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like the degenerative brain disease, the brain disease that he has, it first, like the first sign of it showed up when he was in Cerebro, connected to everyone.
And those first ones are a lot more uncontrollable because they're the first one. It comes out of nowhere. You have no fucking, you didn't know that was going to be there. It just happened.
Yeah.
So, of course, if he's in Cerebro, this first seizure happens, that would drop millions.
And see, one of my thoughts was, they kept talking about all the mutants dying.
Well, they talk about Professor X's brain being classified as a
weapon of mass destruction.
A weapon of mass destruction, yeah. So, what gets you that tight? You're not just a fucking handful of students.
Didn't they say that he killed, 300 people at a mall?
Yeah,
because one of them.
Yeah, no, he killed other. He's had other incidents too, but I'm speculating more on why are the mutants gone.
Well, no. The Reavers have been taking them out.
Well, they've been taking some of them out, but we're talking about. Dude, think about the first time he shows Logan Cerebro in the first X-Men movie, and he was like, everyone. This is a bunch of regular people, and then he switches it to mutants, and it's just, and they're everywhere, we're talking about, and we don't even know what the range on that thing was,
worldwide.
No, I don't think he's worldwide. I don't think they ever say it was worldwide. Maybe, I'm not gonna say it wasn't, but. There's at least by the time they state that he kills all those mutants, it's and you got to think this takes place only 3 or 4 years after the end of Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Because Days of Future Past, the first part where they send Logan back in time, is happening in the year 2024, 23, something like that. Yeah. So when he comes back and the whole timeline's rewritten, all the fucking X-Men are there. And then some point in between there and this movie, so it's only been a few years. Yeah. So, for all those mutants to be taken out in that much time, it couldn't have been the Reavers. There's no way they're that effective. They can't fucking take out X-23. There's no way they're taking out millions of mutants worldwide. You know?
Well, because I mean, it's entirely possible because remember how
I'm sorry, I'm just not buying it.
They had the one guy, the albino guy. He can sense mutants.
Yes, but they didn't have him from the beginning. They only had him after they caught him, and by then...
No, because remember they said, we need you to find one more. He used to work for them.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. You're right.
Yeah,
he used to help them.
He used to help them track down and kill mutants.
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like a lot more mutants were killed by those means than there were...
I still feel like it has to... Like, this is a huge scale event.
We need closure on this.
We do. We need a definitive...
We need more...
James Mangold, where are you? Like, tell us what happened. Like, we need to know. We need to know from the director himself. Maybe not... Apparently, we don't care about the writer. But, James Mangold, give us that answer. But yeah, no, I mean, like, I'm sorry, it's just so huge of an event. Like, so many mutants in just a few years. It doesn't make sense.
Because
Again, I mean, we're talking about the fucking Fox X-Men franchise. So, you have to suspend some disbelief as far as continuity and timeline goes. But still, I feel like Professor X is responsible for taking like so many of them.
Yeah.
He had to have been in Cerebro the first time it happened. Like, that's my belief. That helps me get to the end of the
I can get behind that one. Like, really, overall, if you don't have plans of seeing this movie, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
no, I mean, okay, no, I mean,
like,
maybe you're like me. Maybe you're like me. And your thing about the X-Men extends into the movies. Because in comic books, I won't touch an X-Men comic book. Like, I already feel enough pressure. I was reading All New Wolverine. I'm going to finish Enemy of the State 2 because I'm already so many parts in. I'm just not going to drop it 4 fucking parts in. And I don't even know how many parts it goes. It's up to 6 as far as I know right now. So I'm going to drop it after part 6. But I already felt enough stress because she's popping up in this book, in this book, in this book. They're all X-Men books. And I felt like I should be reading Inhumans versus X-Men. And, like, it's just X-Men puts this anxiety on you because there's so much going on.
Well, the same with the Avengers anymore in the comics. Like, you have...
I don't know.
Like, it's not quite as grand of a scale because you don't have all...
There's 3 Avengers teams in the comics right now. There's the Mighty Avengers. There's U.S. Avengers, which is a newer book, and trust me, you don't need it. I guess it's supposed to be a tie-in to Secret Empire coming up, but you still don't need it. And then there's the Uncanny Avengers.
And there's West Coast Avengers, and there's the Avengers, and... Like
well, Mighty Avengers and the Avengers, they're always the same thing. That's the Avengers. Okay. But like, West Coast isn't a thing right now.
Yeah, it is.
There's a West
Coast
book?
Avengers.
There's a West Coast book?
Yes.
Where?
It's on like
they're hiding it behind.
It came out about the same time that Champions started out. And Champions is basically a young Avengers book.
Are you sure you're not thinking of U.S. Avengers?
No, West Coast Avengers. It has like a couple.
That came out of nowhere. They did not advertise it. There's no way they advertised that shit.
Really
because I saw a shit for U.S. Avengers all over these advertisements.
Well, yeah, because there were 50 variants for number 1.
Why, though? Who cares about this team?
No. You want to know why there were 50 variants?
There's some Red Hulks in there, but whatever.
No.
Why?
There was a variant for every state. Every state got a hero.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But no, like there are so many characters that are in the Avengers that also have their own comic book, and sometimes they show up in both and do things like and then you have like all of your characters that have their own books that are in the X-Men.
Yeah, but you don't really like Marvel. I'll say is good for this. If they want you, they don't necessarily make it to where you have to read these other books. When it comes to X-Men, you do. If you're reading one X-Men book, you gotta know what's going on in X-Men Gold and X-Men Blue. You probably want to know what's going on with All New Wolverine. You gotta know what's going on with Inhumans versus X-Men. And then when you get into that, you gotta get into Inhumans. It's a whole fucking thing. X-Men, since the 90s, has been one of those things where, like, if you're not reading these fucking 6 books, you're gonna get lost at some point. Even if right now it's just one linear story that you're reading, eventually we're gonna fucking veer off into everything else.
Well,
not like Spider-Man. Spider-Man, they had Clone Conspiracy recently, and they had 2 or 3 tie-ins that went into it outside of Amazing Spider-Man.
You had ASM, you had the Clone Conspiracy main issues, you had Silk tie into it, you had Prowler tie into it.
And there was something else.
Yeah, there was one other book that tied into it.
You didn't really need Prowler because it was only kind of like, oh, Prowler's doing this, and this thing. And I think they honestly only mentioned it once.
Yeah, I think he only had 1 or 2 actual like Clone Conspiracy tie-in books.
Well, no, and I mean, whatever happened in the Clone Conspiracy books, they only mentioned it in like 1 panel, and that's it.
Yeah.
Silk, arguably, you maybe should have been reading that to get the full effect of what J. Jonah Jameson was going through, but given everything else that's going on here, do you really give a fuck what J. Jonah Jameson was going through?
Yeah.
So, like, if you were reading Amazing Spider-Man and Clone Conspiracy, you were set. And chances are, if you were reading one, you were reading the other. So,
like, I was getting both. I can't remember what order they came out in, so I haven't read them yet.
It's literally succession, and they tell you at the start of the book, like, at the start, they were really good about this in any of the tie-ins. Like, if you start one of the tie-ins, it'll say, this book takes place after Clone Conspiracy number 3, so read at your own risk. Yeah, they were really good about that, so you'll be all right.
Okay.
But
that's why I've been putting it off until I get that hardcover.
Yeah, you'll be okay. Go ahead and read the single issues.
Okay.
You'll be all right. So anyways, but yeah, so I feel like some people might take it on that level, like
this is an
like
X-Men
they're
movie,
like,
I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, they're like, fucking, you hear about how the X-Men movies are so convoluted and the continuity's all fucked up, but with Avengers, in succession, if it's the next movie coming out, it's the next movie, the only one that broke that mold was Captain America, the First Avenger. But that was only because they had to tell his origin story. And I guess Agent Carter for the same reason, because it takes place in the fucking 40s. But yeah, other than that,
look at Logan.
You watch them in order
as so many different types of movies.
Yeah,
like you said, it can be looked at as more of a Western.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would call it a modern day Western.
Yeah.
You could look at it as a superhero type of movie. It's not a superhero movie, but it can fall into that genre because there are superpowered beings in these movies.
Road trip Western. It's a sci-fi road trip Western is what I would call it.
I mean, and the thing, that's a very accurate description.
Yeah.
But one last thing I want to point out about this movie is something I brought up earlier. Because it's rated R, it is allowed the use of nudity in this movie. They only use this once. Like, if you don't know, Logan is driving a limo. Like, he's an Uber driver that drives a limo.
Is he Uber? Did they state
because
that?
he gets a notification. He gets a thing pop up on his phone. Someone requesting a ride, and it's the chick with Laura at the hotel. And that is how I pieced together. He's a fucking Uber driver. He's a high-end Uber driver.
Fair enough.
He, very early in the movie, he picks up a bunch of people. One of the rides is a bunch of girls going to prom. One of them says, "Hey, driver," and flashes her tits. So we end up seeing an 18-year-old high school senior, I can only hope, flash her tits at the limo driver, which happens to be Logan. And they're all in the back of the limo drinking, all that. So
now, yeah, obviously you have to assume that this is an 18-year-old girl. Okay, I mean, if you want to help yourself get through it easily, you just tell yourself it's an 18-year-old girl. I mean, because the odds aren't that bad on that. If it's, high school prom, senior prom. But let's make the case. Let's make the weird case real quick. What if it's like a 17-year-old girl? Because I highly doubt it's a 16-year-old girl. Okay, but even if we were talking about a 15, 16-year-old girl, let's think about the day and age we're living in now. Because this is 2029. Let's think about the day and age we're living in now. Kids are out of fucking control.
They are.
They have cell phones. There is gigantic amounts of fucking gigabytes worth of underage porn just floating around out there in the fucking bits and pieces that our text messages flying through the air. Okay? Because fucking kids are kids. Teenagers are teenagers.
But
I can see where that seems like it's figured out. But that builds to this point. Like, is it so unbelievable that a 17-year-old girl might do that? And is it so unbelievable that he didn't necessarily know how old she was, so, whatever.
Well, with that being the case, obviously a drunk chick in the back of a limo going to prom is going to be stupid with her friends, flash a limo driver, regardless of age. I'm just saying.
Are you sure it was a prom and not a fucking bridal shower?
In the credits it says prom girls and has a list of girls under that. So, therefore,
when you see the scene, it feels so much like a fucking whatever.
I know it was a prom, but as per federal law, she has to be 18 for this movie to be on the screen.
But I'm just saying, it's not something that you can really have a problem with because it's absolutely understandable from any spectrum that you look at it from.
Right.
But maybe it makes you a little uncomfortable if you think of her as 17, but otherwise, just no matter how you look at it, it makes enough sense. And it gives this little peek into the fact that Logan's not dead inside. Because he gives that little smirk when it happens.
Yeah.
That little smirk and that little shake his head come on. Type thing. Where he could have just been real fucking goddamn good.
I mean, it's not the worst thing he's ever done.
No, I think that'd be pretty goddamn bad. Him berserking over some tits and then killing a limo full of high school girls.
I mean, smiling because he saw tits. That's not the worst thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the other thing, that's pretty extreme.
No, so an article. He switched places with Peter Parker once. They switched bodies.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa,
he tried to do something with MJ.
While Peter Parker was still in high school?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Because apparently at the end of the issue, this was one of those what-if issues.
Yeah.
Apparently at the end of the issue, Mary Jane, when their bodies were back to normal, Mary Jane was, that thing you tried to do this morning, how about we wait till we're older?
Oh my god.
So yeah.
That's weird. Okay, guys, it's that time to start wrapping this up, especially because it went longer than I thought. My mom was asking me to pick up the kids around 10. So, anyways, 2 things we've got to go out on. First, something new we've been doing. I feel like it still deserves a little explanation because we're not too deep into it yet. We're doing a new show called Commoner's Commentary. Basically, we're releasing 2 shows on SoundCloud and iTunes a month. One is this show, Sorta My Podcast, and the other is Commoner's Commentary. And on Sorta My Podcast here, we like to pick what we're going to do on Commoner's Commentary with a little drawing. 4 weeks ago, we wrote down our first 9 picks, threw them in the hat. The first one was Hook. You can go check that out on iTunes, SoundCloud, and it is an audio commentary. It's what it sounds like. You listen to it, you wait for us to tell you to get the movie ready, we do a countdown, then you start the movie and we do an audio commentary. And Hook turned out really good. And the way this system works is whoever's movie got picked for the episode of Commoner's Commentary is removed from who gets to pick the next one. And then the 2 people who are left, out of me, Bobb, and Odle, get to Rochambeau, and whoever wins, rock, paper, scissors, gets to choose the next movie that goes in. So, we are consistently at 9 movies to pick on Sort of My Podcast. So, with that being said, we've got the hat here. I totally took it from the theater while I was in high school because fedoras were a thing for a while, and I thought it was really cool. But I would like to state this is an authentic, old-ass motherfucking fedora, not the cheap bullshit you buy at Walmart. So we've got the fedora in hand. We've got 9 movies. I'm shaking them up right now. And who picked out the last one? Who reached in to pick out?
You reached in.
I reached in? All right. Odle, we'll let you do this one.
Stir it around a little bit.
Stir it around a little
Finger
bit.
them a little bit.
I'm terrible at drum rolls. What do we got? What do we got?
Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, God damn it.
Yes. Although, you should be glad this puts me out of putting another movie in.
Yeah, now, Odle was the one who picked Hook for the last episode. So, Super Mario Brothers is what, like, when we were developing the show, we were like, should we do, like, a drawing? Should we just, like, all discuss a movie and pick one? And originally, this was going to be the first movie we did on the show because we were going with the discussion route, and then it just became a drawing because I said. That's pretty much how it happened. I was like, hey guys, we're going to do a drawing and pick 3 movies. And I was like, I already got my 3 picked out. So anyways, Super Mario Brothers wasn't episode 1. It's going to be episode 2. So look in 2 weeks on a Monday. 2 weeks from now, I don't want to look at my phone to figure out when that's going to be. But there'll be advertisements. Go to the Sort of My Brand page like that and you'll find out. Anyways, Super Mario Brothers is coming up on Commoners Commentary, and it's that time of the show we like to thank our non-sponsor, everyone's hated internet provider, Frontier Communications. Guys, Frontier Communications is the terrible internet service which will constantly go in and out, will constantly give you the runaround, give you fees you didn't know you were about to get, and then charge you thusly. So,
just like a prostitute.
Just like a prostitute. Frontier Communications, the non-sponsor of Sort of My Podcast and everyone's favorite internet prostitute. Guys, I recently moved into a new place, which is where we're now recording these podcasts, and it took me an entire month to get my internet turned on because of I spoke to a guy on the phone, and I will say this is the first guy I've ever talked to who was actually helpful at all. I got all my shit transferred over. It was a really easygoing situation. And so I get the new router, I plug it all up, and it will only connect limited connectivity. So I call, and I call, and I call, and I call, and finally, on the 4th call, I end up in this whole string of things where they're trying to walk me through all this stuff that I need to do on my computer. We've got the command prompts doing. I feel like a fucking Matrix hacker doing all this shit they're telling me, and we still can't get it figured out. So they say they're going to send a technician out. They send the technician out. Takes him 5 minutes of communicating with the fucking outlet box inside my house. And he goes outside and checks a few things, blah, blah, blah. And then he tells me at the very end, had I just hooked up the router from the old address, the router I already had, and not used the new router that they sent me, I would have been completely fine. Yeah. Something they didn't even try to tell me. And I have it. I got it from my ex, who I was letting use the internet while I was living in a Jeep. So yeah, no, I had the router too. They never even asked if I had the old router, not once. So a month goes by, all this shit turns out had the solution in my possession this entire time. Now it could be argued that maybe I could have tried the old router, but they sent me a new router. So who's gonna fucking think to use the old router? Anyways, that's Frontier Communications, the guys who are under investigation right now for unlawful business practices or something like that.
False pretenses, like telling people that they provide this speed and they're not.
Yeah.
Like
I can attest to that.
Like there's like 3 different charges up against them right now.
I'm glad I forgot to pay them for the last 2 months.
Like I think adding invisible fees, stuff like that was one of them too. So
Frontier Communications, avoid at all costs. That should be their company tagline. Avoid at all costs. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining us. As we've stated throughout the podcast, like us on the various social medias. You can like Sort of My Comics, where we post most of the stories that you hear on here. Not all of which, though. Sometimes we bring up special stuff, so don't think you can just cheat and go to Sort of My Comics and get all your comic book news now.
No, you still got to listen to us talk every couple weeks.
Go to Sort of My Comics on Facebook. Go to Sort of My Brand, where we blanket all of the stuff, the parent company, to everything we do. You can like Sort of My Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Get involved with us on iTunes, on SoundCloud, wherever you're listening to this to. Comment. Let us know how much we fuck up and how much you hate us and how much we suck. And, treat us like the worst relationship you've ever had, so we can get better, so we can change for you.
We want to be the one you want.
We just want to be loved. We'll do anything.
But we won't do that.
But we won't do that. Anyways. My name is Vincent Herman.
I am Alpha Spectre, James Odle.
This has been Sort of My Podcast, and cue that fucking badass, fucking goddamn fucking Patrick Stewart fucking badass outro fucking music.
Fuck!